television, Intense TV. I'm your host, Robert Louis Tunnell I, and tonight we have a very special episode of Television Talk Show Live. Last week we had on Lynette Lyon. She brought on a wild African cerebral kitten. Also, she brought on a little baby wallaby. We've had on Kiara, the African cerebral cat that was on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno that he tried to kidnap. We're going to get a baby porcupine on the show that was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. She also has a baby camel that was on Hallmark Television and stuff like that. So, and I was going to tell you, I went to this.
So, anyway, as we go on, the storyboard for yes. The storyboard for Deadly Island. So down in St. Thomas Island, where I'm at now, there was a Hurricane Hugo back in 91. Or actually, before 91. Where there was looting and a lot of corruption involved. Meanwhile, I was chauffeuring the limousines in the Napa Valley, Cali. And this one guy, he said, hey, take me over to San Francisco right away, right? So I'm driving along, chauffeuring, and flew out of the Alameda tube, boom, hit air, caught air, through the red light, because he's in a hurry. He'll never ask for that again. So I'm thinking, I've never been to St. Thomas. I'll book a flight down there and move, and see, probably chauffeur limousines down there, right? So this is in 1991. So yeah, I head down to the Caribbean. I get on the plane, and then I'm on the 747, right? I don't know anybody there on the island. Never been there. Don't have any jobs lined up. Never been there before. Don't know anything about it. And then I take a little plane from Puerto Rico over to the island. I see this one girl sitting up in the front seat, right? So Janice. So I come up, talk to her, get off the plane. She's trying to get her luggage. I go, can I help you? She's like, no. Okay. So then the police are like, it's like 12 in the morning, hot in August, right? 1991. The police are like, hey, what are you doing? They don't want anybody moving there, right? So I'm like, they're hassling me. And then she pulls up in a gypsy cab. The girl Janice, she says she got a little Rastafarian guy driving this. Quick, get in. So get in, and the cops are still checking it out, and I'm throwing the suitcases and getting out of there, right? And then I check into the gypsy cab, takes us to this old hotel, right? And he's got this shirt on, it says Hugo Macamea Don. The hurricane made me rich, right? FEMA, right? Or something. So he goes and signs us up $50 for this. The pool's broken, it's cracked from the hurricane. And so we're out, we jump in. It's all cracks in the wall, TV's not working, right? So jump in the bed. And then the next day I put on the suit and tie. I'm like, leave her a note. I'm going to go check out the limousines. Well, everybody's like, wow, what's that guy dressed up for? It's hot out here, right? And he's out of place. So I'm going up to Frenchman's Reef. There's nothing. There's no limousines, right? So I meet this cat, Freddie. He's like, hey, you want to hold the birds? What we do is we take pictures, comes in a nice frame, and you take as many as you like with your camera afterwards. I'm like, I live here, I'm not a tourist, right? But he says, he's an Australian guy. He goes, well, he says, check out, he's got this necklace, right? And this Rolex. He's like, check this out, right? So he shows me this Russian necklace. It's like sapphires and diamonds and stuff. And then he's saying, you could go to work with me with the birds, right? And I'm like, cool, take pictures of the tourists, put the bird on them. And take their pictures. They could take as many as they like with their camera afterwards. And then he said, well, how'd you do? I'm like, well, yeah, we made money. We're on Trumpeter Alley meeting up. And I leave the alley, and I hear this, bam, pop. So I go back. This guy's been shot. His watch is missing and the necklace, right? He says, I'm shot. And then he died. There's the cage. Shadowy figure runs away. So I'm walking down the sidewalk. I grab the birds. I'm getting out of there before they pin this on me, right? And this red-haired girl, it's not the blonde I met earlier. So she said, where are you going with those birds? Hey, those are Ed's. And I go, you know him? Or at Gladys's Cafe when she was out on Main Street or Back Street. So I'm like, yeah, I know him. So then I go over to my hotel, right? I like to put this stuff in the safe, right? So I stick my jewels in the safe, man. Then I meet with the redhead girl, Nicole, right, at Chart House. So down in Frenchtown, there's a lot of crime here, an island, you know. Yeah, and they'll probably try and pin this on you, you know. So we introduce each other, have dinner, we meet. And my taxi cab driver, young Palestinian kid, he's like, hey, you know, taxi? Yeah, he give me rides everywhere for free. Check it out, you know. Cool guy. He's 21 years old. Blue eyes, blonde hair. He's like got the curly hair, right? So I'm like, yeah, we're at the Chart House, you know. It's a full moon. I'm like, yeah, thanks. So he gives me a ride. And then we go over to Barnacle Bill's, right? And she's like, hey, the blonde again, Jana. She's like, hey, we could make save money. Instead of that hotel, we could go over to this Water Island, stay at Honeymoon Beach, camp out there. Sounds like a plan. I'm thinking, yeah, coconuts, the beach, right? And, or she's thinking that, I'm thinking this, right? And we get over there and, first we're at Frenchtown, go to the waterfront, get a little tiny boat. Mike gives us a little ride. It's like $5, right? Throw the luggage in there. Then, right away, we're on Water Island, man. There's my table. Made out of an old cable spool, right? So, no nude swimming. Yeah, right. So, heck with that, right? We're going to do some nude swimming in the water. And this kind of reminds me of that movie I heard about, you know, where they're in the sand. It's like an old black and white movie. It's a full moon, too. So, then we go out and stand in the middle of the water off the island. That was cool. Warm water, full moon, right? Then, the next morning, I wake up, right? There's this colorful snake with a triangle-shaped head under my sleeping bag with us, so I cut his head off, right? And she's like, what'd you do that for? And I'm like, I don't know. Later I found out it's an endangered species, harmless, right? Oh my God. So, you know, we're wrestling in the sand, picked some coconuts for breakfast, got a bottle of rum up there, right? And then the next day I go, okay. So I go back to work. Well, Fred died last night. We're taking the day off. You know, Phil says, okay, we'll come back tomorrow, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. So I got the cage. It's got a picture of Nicole on the cage, too. Somebody took a picture of her. Then I'm over at my hotel lobby. I checked into the Miller Manor Hotel. The Millers are dead now, of course. He got mugged, and she sold and gave up and probably have died. So it's $500 a month, right? So cool. I got traveler's checks. So meanwhile, Jana, she goes to work down at the Yacht Haven, living on a boat, working on the boat and everything like that, right? So I'm like, that's cool. And I go back, I see the picture of Nicole on the cage, right? So I know that Freddie knows her. She's, meanwhile, thinking about me. She's out on the boat, man, you know. And then my chauffeur, my taxi driver, he's like, Marhaba, Jifalek. He's all, Inta Hamara Kabir. So I'm like, Mabsoot, Shukran, Afwan. We go to Club Z. Club Z was the happening place, man. And then there's quite a lively night. There's a fight breaking out, right? Money and change go on the floor. Drinks, laser shows, checking it out, go there. So I'm thinking, well, I don't see my taxi driver. I could just walk down past the old mill. Yeah, taxi, this one guy says, I don't know him. I'm like, nah, thanks, I can save money, walk down. I walk down past Windward Passage, right? And these two crack addicts there, old man, Rasta, and a young fat cat, they kind of try to mob me. They say, show me your ID, right? Give me, and they want to see my wallet. I'm like, nah, I ain't falling for that, right? So I'm walking down that alley. Scary, huh? Late at night. So he slams me against this car, right? And I slam him back, but there's no car behind him, right? And then the guy goes, it's clear, do it now. And I'm like, do what now, you know, right? He's gonna try and rob me. That was the lookout guy. Dogs are barking. And then I go report to the police. $5. You gotta pay $5 to report something. Yeah, right. And I look in the books, and there's no picture of them in the mugshots, right? So I'm looking at the T-shirts, shorts, or hot wave it. No greenie, no brownie, no Milwaukee. All day, all night, she won the Bud Light. John Bon Long Dong drive them crazy. Whopping me son. We afraid nobody. Hugo mock me at them. Yeah, all the T-shirts, sugar cane, they're selling down the market. I'm like, okay, right? Whatever that means. So I'm checking out the T-shirts. Meanwhile, a little while later, the police girl, the one that I made the report with, she comes back, right? And she comes out and she's like, hey, police, yeah, you made the report, yeah? Your friend, who shot him? I don't know who shot him. There's a murder. Now you're interested, right? So, yeah, there's an investigation. Yes. And her card reads Valerie. Her name is Officer Valerie. She's hot. So I'm like, okay. She says, hey, this man, Steve, follow him everywhere. Don't be obvious, man. What are you waiting for? Christmas? Go now, Roy. So this is Roy. Got the gold chain, glasses, shirt open, undercover. He's going to follow me, right? So I don't know that. So I'm over, man, by Chicken Fry. You know, my balcony overlooks Chicken Fry, that worst neighborhood. Well, I'll have the fried plantains, the beans and rice, the roti, and give me some of that Vitamol to go. All these girls are like, hey, baby, I don't know what they're selling, right? So I'm coming back up, and then Nicole, she calls this guy Greg, right? Tells him, and this other guy, Sands, comes in, and she's telling them, hey, follow this guy. I think he knows where the necklace is, right? He could lead us to the money trail. And Greg's like, yeah, no problem. He's all stoned out of his freaking mind, right? So she said, and then she tells Sandman, follow me too. So go to it, Sandman. There's Sands, blonde-haired guy, following. So I got all these people like following me around. I don't even know that, right? So I'm like, okay. So meanwhile, CNN News comes up, does an interview with me, right? They're like, hey, what is it you do here on the island? We're here for the 75th anniversary of the island bought from the Danish or whatnot. I'm like, what I do is I take pictures, comes in a nice frame, and take many pictures you like with your camera afterwards. Hey, got it. And we're out of here. PBS, CNN, HBO, they all did the same thing, interview. Then this cat, Igor, checks into my hotel, right? With his wife, Anna. So I help him with suitcases. Where you guys are from? Russia. Okay, Don be dummy, pal. Word travel quick here on small island. Right, darling? Well, I got a glimpse of that necklace, right? So he's asking me about it. He's from Russia. He knows about this Russian necklace, right? So phone call, yes. You want to make deal on the diamonds, right, man? You go Emancipation Park. I see us, man. Well, I know you're serious, but Emancipation Park? Yeah. And then who walks in? Janice. How you know where I'm living at, right? Miller Manor Hotel. She come down here, check and meet with me, so. And they're offering an award on this necklace thing, right? So I take her out, and we go to Sapphire Beach. Driver pulls up, picks us up. What's on your itinerary today, man? We are going to the beach. So how you know Ed? You know what? I was working with that cat, right? So we're over here, and then the driver says, man, I'm worried. I'm scared for my life. I want to go back to San Francisco and go back to college. I think I'm going to get killed or something here. It's a lot of crime. 28 murders a month. So more crime than LA and New York combined per square foot. So I'm on Sapphire Beach, right? A lot of barkers out there that day. All the barkers come out Sunday to Sapphire Beach. Live music, food, jet skis, snorkeling, windsurfing, and parasailing, right? So, scuba diving. So, come back to the taxi, go back home. Well, tell us about this island. Well, I gotta be back at 4. Drop me at that Emancipation Park, okay? Well, the Frenchies are on the north side up here, you know, right? So basically, Frenchtown is the West Indians, somewhat. and some Palestinians, right? The Puerto Ricans. And I go to Emancipation Park, and who's there? Mousy and Greg. Mousy's the tall guy. Mousy's dead now. We think you got the necklace, Auntie Mom. Oh, look, I thought you had it. No? The revolutionary friend here can give you how much? 1,000. You got Glockman? Hey, keep your hands off me, right? I got to pull out a stun gun that the Palestinians gave me. There's Sands, he's watching in the background, man. He's peeking in. She's like, what the hell's going on here, right? Then we split, and we run into who? Nicole. And she's like, how do you know her? Well, how do you know her? Hey, what the hell? So, what is this, man? You just endangered my life. Now this chick's here. And I'm like, maybe. And then the next day in the newspaper, front page. Who is it? Right in the front page is dead. It says, you know this man? He's stabbed to death, found on the beach, Brewers Beach. His car's missing. Somebody killed him. And who's watching me, man? Is that Roy back in the alley, right? So, nobody found Mousy's body yet, right? So I'm like, coming up here and, hey, his cousin, Mahmoud Abdullah, picks me up in his little Astro Chevy van. And he goes, hey, my cousin's dead. I'm your new driver. I'm sorry. My condolences to your cousin. So let us go. We go to Megan's Bay. Okay, so I'm like, we're going to take over and go to Megan's Bay. So we're checking it out. He's got his Newports going on. And we're driving over there. Talking about, the murder. So much crime. 28 murders a month. More than LA and New York combined per square foot. So yeah, I'm going to go swimming. Pick me up. Very well, right? So he's like, yeah, so Megan's Bay. I'm over there. And then who is it? It's Nicole. She walks by, and I'm hanging out with Valerie, right? So then they meet up, right? And she said, I think she a thief, man. Yes, she is a thief. She's from Australia, the red hair. So, what's she doing on St. Thomas? I have no idea. So, hey, the cop, she said, Valerie, she's like, she wants to go swim. I'm like, isn't this illegal? You can't have a fire on the beach. Plus, throw your clothes out like that. And then I'm like waiting. Hey, where you been? You're late, right? He's going to pick me up. Well, yeah, Club Z, I had clients, okay? All right. So take pictures with the birds with you for free. Little trade out, little bartering, little networking, little cross promotions. Something we like to do here on the island. The next morning, early, I'm hanging out with Igor. He's pumping iron. I go, bring me that 25-pound plate, Igor. Yes, master. And meanwhile, Reeves is here. Reeves is the neighbor. And he said, isn't that a woman's exercise that Reeves is doing? Laugh out loud. So he's like, hey, it's alright to jump bone once in a while, but you must develop a relationship, pal. Okay? It's okay to burn your rubber once in a while. I said, no, I burned rubber on her. I didn't burn my... He doesn't get the gist of it. So, meanwhile, my new cabbie, Mahmoud Abdullah, he's driving down Savan, down below Miller Manor, and he gets mugged. Guy takes his chain, gives him a black eye, gold chain, right? And me, I'm working over by Virgilio's, right? Do a little Barker and Bird thing, right? So I'm like, t-shirts, watches, postcards, jewelry, t-shirts, watches, postcards. Yeah. And isn't that a lovely outfit you're wearing, right? Not. So it's like ice, fresh, cold lemonade down and by Virgilio's, Gold Haven, now Casey Jewelers. So I'm like, hey, we went over to Bo Peep's restaurant in the evening. So how'd it go today? Took in 50 photos. So, yeah, I heard about that crooked cop you found innocent on looting and burning and during the hurricane. Yeah, he's found innocent. But jury of his peers, chief of police, lots of corruption. Anything on who killed Ed? Freddie? No. Did you do it? No. So we're at Chart House. Later that night at her hotel, she's in, Hotel 1812 or whatever that is down there, by Emancipation Park. And then early in the morning, who's up on the mountain, Crown Mountain? Sans, waiting and watching in his little yellow Jeep or whatever. So I'm like, hey, the next morning when I wake up, hey, clean your room now? Knock, knock, knock. Can you come back in like about an hour? So meanwhile, we go up to, I think we're at Cafe Amiche. Yes, Atrice Alley. Gotta get to work with those birds. She's like, call me, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. So, meanwhile, Igor and Anna are like, hey, you think he can find a necklace, Paul? Yeah. And I'm like, step right up right here, step right up right here, step right up. Come on down right here, come on down right here. Step right in, we got it right here, step right in, we got it right here. And for all you antisocial, paranoid, schizophrenic, psychotic, neurosis, neurotic, photones, we got some crazy deals today. We got up to 70, it's up to 70% off all the joint store. That's why everybody's in the store. For all you computational fluid dynamics engineers, we got your quadrifoil shaped diamonds. We got your curvilinear shaped emerald. You know, it's like, meanwhile, Janice splits the island with her new boyfriend. Oh, he's a keeper, right? Yeah. So, what do you got? She asked Roy. This is back with Valerie, the police officer. He got nothing on me, right? So, meanwhile, the guy with the black eye, Mahmoud Abdullah, he's like, with the nice mullet, he's like, yeah, he got jumped, pulled over, and pulled a knife on him. So, he's like, he did go back in the alley, grabbed his chain back with a knife. Meanwhile, the bird's like, how much, Andrew? How much? Andrew, the bird's telling me, I wonder if that's the cat that did the murder, took the jewelry. And he's talking about it because he heard him saying, how much, Andrew? Right? How much you give me for it? So I go up Miller Manor, up the stairs, stash my gun in this hole because I don't want to get pulled over with that, right? So, hey, I asked my cabbie, hey, I need a cab right away, okay? I will be there. And then he pulls up, right? Inta hamara kabir. Inta muzabri. What's wrong? His jeep keep following me. I don't believe it, right? So who following me before? That's Sands, right? So go to Whole Bay. We'll check the surf and go back to Megan's Bay and see if he's following us, right? He checks his mirror. We go back over there. I'm like, hey, he's still checking that mirror, right? So, and of course he's taking a side street and watching. Meanwhile, I don't see anything now, right? So he's cruising around. We go to Whole Bay, but Sands is there. No, Megan's Bay first. After that, I mean, and he's up in his Jeep. So we're at Megan's Bay. Am I late? No. Have some ice cold Stillenschnee with beluga. No thanks. Well, maybe some caviar, right? What are you, KGB pal? Oh. And there's Valerie checking it out. So we meet with Igor and them on the beach. That's me on the beach with them. Meanwhile, taxi driver, he's coming back out, right? Mahmoud Abdullah. And we're having fun. We're just like swimming around, you know, splashing, checking out the pelicans and the fish. And at Megan's Bay on the north side. So I said, call me tonight. She's like, okay, bye. Nice to meet you, huh? Meanwhile, nice to meet you. I get in the taxi, right? Checking it out. Getting back in. That's Igor's wife sitting next to me, so no worries there. Meanwhile, somebody's following us. It's Sands again. Darn his hide, right? In that Jeep. So, you know, I'm like, any little necklace, bow. I'm working on it, Igor. Got nice view, though, from the harbor, right? You see all the cruise ships. Back in the day, Gladys's cafe evening. So who's watching me, man? There's Gladys eating. It's Roy with his little gold chain around his neck there. And next, I'm taking pictures at Hibiscus Alley the next day. And I hear that, how much, Andrew? Andrew? And that guy's got a different kind of green on his back now, right? He's giving me some green, and I'm giving him some green from the birds run down his Hawaiian shirt, so you can't really tell. So I say, later on that night, let's go Club Z again, right? You know. So I say to this guy at Club Z, man, hey, have you seen Andrew? You want Andrew? He be at Abe's, man. Arby's? Oh, that's Arby's is a joke. No more sandwiches. It's a dance hall at night, right? So here's Club Z. Taxi? I'm like, yeah. Where's Mahmoud? Oh, it's his uncle Salem. He's off tonight, right? So, have you seen Andrew? And I asked the big bouncer at Abe's. Oh, he at the bridge, man. So we go down to the bridge. One of my buddies got killed also back in the day. Right? Two friends died in 4 days, right? Meanwhile, Greg is kicking it. He going to get him, man. So I think it was Greg and Mousy were hanging out there, man. Talking about me and trying to spy. So Salem's like, hey, let's go to surf club right by the bridge. Thanks, Mahmoud. And then he shows me where they live. You know, they live over by Pueblo Market, kind of down by Yacht Haven. So, hey, I'm looking for precious jewels. So I find Andrew. He's at the bridge. I'm looking for precious jewels, a good price. You know where I can find them? You will talk to me at Vista Point Crown Mountain noon tomorrow. Guan. So he's chilling like a villain. He's the cat that killed Freddy. So I'm at Boompa's restaurant in the morning, right? Who's up on the roof watching? Yeah, it's Mousy and Greg. And Sands is off on a balcony. I'm over at Boompa's having breakfast. Nice view of the harbor here. Yeah, for sure. You know, beautiful day for a beautiful girl, right? I'm there with Nicole, that little redhead from Australia. So then I'm back at my apartment, right? I got my gun. Steve's. I got the 9mm Beretta, which I stash in the hole in the wall again on the way up from Miller Manor. And Mahmoud cruise up the hill, drop me at that lookout point, and if I'm not back in an hour, notify, you know, the right guys to watch my back, the other Palestinians, my best friends here. And should I call police? No, you call Mahmoud Abdullah. That's Salem again. So I'm going up to this mill. It's way out in the middle of the jungle. So you bring your machete? No. We're going to cut through the bush now, man, and I show you the jewels. So we're going to cut through the bush and with our machetes and go over to this mill. He's going to show me all this. I'm going to get a good look at the necklace. So I know he's the guy that killed him. So this is the place, man. I show you the jewels, my son. You like them? They're yours for 300,000. So we go up, and it's like grown in with vines, right? But, you know, as soon as I climb up after him, he hacks me with a machete, and I hack back. Sword fight ensues, right? And then I get hacked in the shoulder. I get knocked out by this guy hiding in the back. He knocks me out from behind, right? And he thought his life was safe. Shut up, idiot. Throw the white trash out, man. So he's like, just drag him out, throw him in the bushes, right? There's a second level. So the bushes are ways down. There's some thorns down there, you know, right? So I'm like, whoa, you know. Next morning I'm waking up off the ledge, down in the bush with all the thorns. Man, shoulders cut to the bone, bleeding badly. Not badly, but this is a old sugar mill out in the jungle up on Crown Mountain. So I'm walking out, and I see a open air bus. A friend of mine's driving, does an island tour, so I jump on the back tire, hide out, catch a ride over to the north side. Once I'm on the north side, I hop out, free ride, right? Of course. Believe it. So I'm over at Reeves' house, the guy at the gym. So, yeah, the red-haired kid from Boston. So what happened to you? You got mugged again? Sort of. Use your phone? Shop? Yeah, I'm going to town. Help yourself. Not a word about my whereabouts. Okay. And he's like, sure. You know, he jumps in his little Jeep. I'm checking it out. What do you got? Leftover conch, fried chicken, passion fruit, milk. Huh. Okay. That's my choice. Dripping out of the shower. So I'm watching his TV, and what do I see? I'm right here on the north side, right? It's like, okay, thanks, pal. Yeah. Not a word. So I'm watching his television. I was looking for you, he said, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I'm hiding out. So where shall we go hiking today? I think the West End, okay? It's isolated. Let's go over there, right? So we're going to go hiking, when Reeves got back the next day. So we get up in the morning, cruise all the way down to Fortuna. Right? And here we are. I say, let's hack a path through this bush, man. So we hacked through. We're over in the jungle, right? Hacking through there. And eventually I find some vines and stuff, right? And I tie them together, climb down the cliff because there's no further way to go. What now? No problem. Here's this vine, right? So I'm climbing down the cliffs, Barrett's Bay, right? So here's the exterior of the cliff, right? And he's kicking rocks down and stuff. Hey, look out. Luckily I was underneath a log. So thanks a lot, pal. It didn't hit me. Meanwhile, these guys are in this boat in the water down there. This is the place. And they're diving for something, right? So I'm like, well, it's Barrett's Bay. Not a beach. It's rocks. We jump from rock to rock. Waves are crashing in here. And what happens is, he's like, what do you think? What do you think they're fishing for down here, right? In that boat? Because I don't know, maybe for treasures, right? They're diving for treasure. Boom, pow, the guy shoots at me, right? And I'm like, hey, get down. Where'd they get that? Or where'd they get you, man? They shot me. Just in the forearm. So he bandages up his forearm. He's going to be out of the gym for a while. Think you can make it back to the vine? He's like, yeah. So twang, ting, little rocks. Big rocks are getting hit by little bullets, right? And we just hoof it back. We hoof it all the way back to the vine. And they're speedboating towards us, right? Hey, and we're jumping from rock to rock. David's Point by then. But he doesn't see the reef. Pow! Croc! He flies out of the boat. He hits the reef. Hey, can we climb? Make it up that climb? But we'll be shot. Stay low. Keep moving, right? So we're like, okay. And the boat, meanwhile, the big boat, that was a little boat coming out at Barrett's Bay. He's pulling up anchor. He's shooting at us, man. So all the way up the cliff, it's like tat, 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 pow. And I pull him up. Then the next day in the morning, I'm on Main Street, do a little barking, take pictures of the birds, and I see a dog in the alley. Here, boy, it's a ghetto. Savant. The dog comes turning around, right? And man, he was ugly, like a map on his forehead of just broken, bloody cracks and veins. Like a map of the island right itself. So I'm taking pictures. Polaroid instant pictures with the tourists. Hang by your heels, play dead. Good bird, hibiscus alley, coconut trees. They're twice as big now as they were then. And we were over to Goldhaven, right? Goldhaven. And I'm like, come on down, folks. This is where the bargains are. Come right in. 75% off all the jewelry in the store. That's why everybody's in the store. Then they run in to look, and of course it's full. Because they went in to look. So the store is full. I'm up picking coconuts in Hibiscus Alley near A trees. I climb up to pick them off. I climb on the roof. You can reach the coconuts better. And I see this guy. It's Mousy, I think. And he's climbing down inside the tube. And out of the tube with a bag of money. He went and robbed some jewelry store through the roof, right? So I'm hiding. Shh, that bird's like, ah. I'm drinking all the coconut water. Hey, have some vodka, pal. We went down to the greenhouse, right? Igor. And I'm like, no thanks, I'm still on the case. I think I'm getting warm though, right? So, the next thing you know, I'm over at the downtown club in the morning, right? Pump iron. So I'm like, I think a man named Andrew had killed Ed. Or Freddie. Well, who's Andrew? One of the thugs that left me for dead the other day. They worked you over that day. Ha ha ha. Reeves. What the heck is he know? Tie askew and nose aglow. Igor's pumping iron here too, so, it's like no big thing. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string from Burger King. Back at Blackbeard's Castle, I'm going up in the morning to get some breakfast, right? So I'm like, So you ready to order, sir? Yeah, that salmon Benedict and the orange juice. This is a nice little high-end clientele ritzy place. So back at the park by the 99 Steps, historic landmark, goes up to Blackbeard's Castle, right? Yeah, Blackbeard's Castle. Bluebeard's Castle is pretty nice too. Hey, they're shooting at me and they're like, "Tow, tow. Next time, Birdman," right? So he's shooting at me. I duck behind a bench. That's Mousy and Greg. Meanwhile, Sands is taking a shot too, from behind a statue. So the whole picture is kind of like that, right? So the next thing you know, I'm running. Sands is chasing me, right? We exit. Then Nicole's hotel, I run in there, right? She's right close by, 1812 or whatever that place is, the hotel. And she's like, I bust in the door. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Just people trying to kill me as usual." "Sandman, what happened?" "Mousy tried to kill him, so I popped him one." "Oh, he shot Mousy. I thought he was shooting at me." "Well, I'm going for lunch then. Rex here will go with you, in case Greg comes around, since Mousy's probably dead by now. So this new guy, Rex, he's going to be my bodyguard. Like, I trust him." I'm like, "How do you know Sands to begin with, right?" So I'm walking, I see a gun in the park, and he's checking Mousy to see if he's dead. Yeah, Rex is, so I see Mousy's gun, so I just bend over to tie my shoes and pick it up and hide it, right? And then this guy goes, "You want Gwanja?" That's that guy that tried to mug me, right? Over at this is at the 1671 Fort Christiansted. And so I'm walking Rex now. I got the gun on him. He ain't got a gun on me no more. And I take him into the fort, and I'm like, "Get in," and I lock him in one of these old dungeons, right? And then the Coast Guard's right by, so I go by there, steal their boat. And I'm jamming out of there. Where am I going? I'm going over, well, Valerie's the only cop I could trust anymore, right? Well, that's right, because I was just at Nicole's house, right? In her hotel. So I'm going over there, and there's ships in the harbor, Yacht Haven. I jump out, run by. Surf club's right by there. So I go in surf club, past that, go in, knock on her door. Oh no, this is Mahmoud Abdullah's house. I knock on his door, right? Nothing. Look in the window. Nothing. I see something, a dead body on the floor, it looks like, right? So I'm like, "Man, who is that?" So I go in, it's his uncle, Salem's shot, he's dead. Mahmoud Abdullah's all tied up in this chair, man, with some duct tape and stuff on. So I'm like, "Hey, Mahmoud." So I untape him, get him free, check it out, walk across the street, over to Valerie's house. I'm looking at the address on her business card. She gave me her personal card here. She's like, yeah, here's my card, Valerie Peterson. So I'm cool. Mahmoud, he's waiting out nearby. Okay. And then, sorry. Then, he's like, pulls up, waiting. And we go out on the veranda, right? Go out on the veranda where we live, but Miller Manor. "Mahmoud, what happened, pal?" Oh, he went up there. Yeah. Mahmoud did it. He's talking about me. "Well, it's that Tyler, that Steven. You want some bush tea, man?" Hey, I'm just sweating. Ran up to her door to see Valerie, the cop. And she's like, "Andrew, how's it going?" So I see Andrew in her house. "You figure out me smuggling operation, me son. I run things here." "I'm not your son." "Hey, leave here alone, Andrew." Blam! Who kicks in the door and shoots? It's Sands, right? Nicole's boy. And who does he shoot? Valerie. So we all run out the door. There's an undercover cop splitting that way. There's a Sands chasing with Rex. Those two guys are together. And what happens? I go outside, wait on the side. Wait for him to come out and just pop one of them, right? And then up behind Pueblo Market, he's like, shooting and shooting, right? And this guy, the cops are out then, and he goes, "Take that, copper!" Bam! And Rex shoots this one guy right up there, and that's where the deliveries are. So we go up to Frederickson Point. That's Bluebeard's castle, right? So that's the guy who used to behead all his wives and bury them in basement. Yeah, nice guy. So I'm climbing up a vine trying to get out of there. Boom! Roy's coming around the corner, right? He's shooting at me, so I'm climbing up the castle, up the wall on the vine. I get up the top, right? I'm hiding. I hear him coming up the stairs. There's a trapdoor, right? So I'm like, okay, wait for him to come out, right? So at the bottom of the castle, meanwhile, he already went in the door. So I hear him thump, thump, thump. He's coming through. He's going to come through the trapdoor, right? Top of the castle. So I'm like, okay, go ahead. So he's ready to pop the top, and bust the cap. Thump, thump. I let him get halfway through, and I kick the lid back down. So his gun goes flying. And the next thing you know, hey, we fight for the gun, struggle. And what happens? Bam, he's shooting at, and he falls off. What next, right? Yeah, he fell off by accident. And I'm like, is this some kind of a vacation? Man, I'm going to need a vacation after this. It's Caribbean stuff, boy. Caribbean. I'm sorry, that's how you pronounce it. So he's like, Bluebeard's, and then the police come out, lay flat on your belly. I'm like, okay, I can crawl on my belly like a reptile. He walks, he talks, he crawls on his belly like a reptile. Whatever you want. And over at Reeves' house, Steve's being held for murder, right? That's Reeves, the redhead kid from Boston. Mahmoud Abdul's there. Igor and his wife, Anna. So they think, well, I'm in jail. They think I murdered a bunch of people. So what did you do it for, man? Yes, the PD. I didn't. So somebody comes to visit me. It's Mahmoud Abdullah. You're in danger of life coming here to visit me, pal. Right? St. Thomas PD department. So he paces off. And I'm like, why is he pacing? He's counting his steps or something. Wahad Tanin Talit Arba'a Kamsi City Sabah Tamini Tisa Ushra. And then he goes outside, paces it off. Bam! He drives through the building, right? Busts through. Comes in. Or maybe he laid too much C4 in there. So I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Trying to kill me? It's way too much C4 to blow a hole in that wall for me to get free. Meanwhile, Greg, they want him dead now, and I pay you $2,000. So he gets this gang together. There's like 4 of these guys. True story. I got all the newspaper articles to prove it, right? Except for the necklace part. And over at Reeves' house, meanwhile, they grab some suitcases. They're like, it's time to split town, right? Get out of this rock. So they said the boat's ready to go. So we all go jump on a boat. We're going to go over to St. John, I believe. So we go down the waterfront first. Okay, boat's ready. His little brother's there. Reeves' little brother. Colin, whatever his name is. So we go, we'll camp out for a few days over here. We went over to St. John. Cool. His little brother's driving the boat. We're all escaping. We're going to lay low for a while. So, man, at my hotel, they're like, have you seen this man? No, Mrs. Miller don't know. You got the old telephone, right? So we're camped out. Man, we'll just call Colin. We'll just call him Carl. So Carl is going to contact us. He went back, so he's going to contact us when there's a plane ready, okay? We're over at Trunk Bay, kind of by Cinnamon Bay. Camped out. So cool. Meanwhile, true story, Lindbergh Bay at night, 4 thugs shoot this police officer guy, right? Boom, boom, boom. Dead with shotguns and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, the police chief, he's hiding inside of his house in the morning, looking out the curtains. And the FBI comes down. This cop was a funny looking guy too. He had a big afro and funny glasses and a beard. Looked like kind of like a clown. So, Officer Moving was mysteriously killed last night. True story. Officer Moving was killed by 4 thugs with shotguns. The FBI comes down from the States, check it out. I think this cat was the one that set it up, though. So, inside Reeves' house, his brother's there, right? Carl, so, Colin, whatever. So the police source have come forth to inform us that the murdered police officer was targeted by the police, who believed he was about to reveal, that cocaine smuggling operation, right? Yeah. So, back at the police chief's house, they're corrupt. We gotta get this coke out of here. So he's telling him, we're gonna smuggle, the chief police tells this guy, we're gonna get the coke out. Well, that's a lot of coke. So, they pull it out. The FBI's like, why is all the cocaine missing? All the money around here? And where's all this corruption? Back on the north side, right? It's a little Jeep with Carl in it. He takes the little boat down to Trunk Bay. Come check us out. Save our butts. Get us off the island on a plane. Meanwhile, the FBI comes by to check out this police corruption. He's got a guitar case full of cocaine, right? He's like, oh, can you believe that, man? Running down the road with a guitar, then tossing it down the alley. He outrun you. Not even get to cite him for anything for not wearing a shirt. He must have stole it. Let's go put it on my desk, So he's like, yeah, it's evidence. It's a stolen guitar full of cocaine, of course, smuggling. So so I meet with the FBI, and he's like, thank you for your cooperation. And I reach out to shake his hand. Maybe he'll reach back. Yacht Haven. So we're out of here. It's Igor. And no, it's Nicole. That's Nicole and Rex. They're going to split. So she's from Australia. She's kind of like one green eye and one blue eye. Kind of wild. She's a Tiefmann. I don't know what she's still. So Igor's like, here's a check, right? He gets me the money. It's a reward for solving the crime and the necklace. And meanwhile, we go for the birds. For the birds was out in Red Hook. And they got birds, just like me. So we pull up Mahmoud Abdullah. It's a nightclub. We go in. So, Briklov. Igor is his real name. Got to change the names to protect the guilty. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going back to New York, pal. I love that city. I'll probably just stay here a couple years and go back for Seattle. He's from Boston. Well, I'm leaving soon to Ohio, Mahmoud Abdullah. Well, your cousin's dead. Freddie's dead. Mousie's dead. Roy's dead. Valerie's dead. Andrew's dead. Mahmoud is dead. I mean, not Mahmoud, but his uncle, Salem. So I'm out of here, Everybody's dead. So, well, here's my mailing address. You guys keep in touch. Blah, blah, blah. Nice to see you. Later. And pretty much, we're out of here, right? So, I go to the airport, St. Thomas. There's a big marlin up on the wall. It weighs about 1,100 pounds. And I'm like, out of here, man. Got my luggage, right? I'm going to LAX. And this limo pulls up. He said, Mr. Mall? Tyler Mall? Yes. Igor arranged for a limo to take you to the studio. It seems they would like to make a movie from this story you got. This movie of the week, MOV, based on a true story. So, real characters, 91 to 92. And I'm like, cool. And, it started out with a sunrise, ended with a sunset. But who do I see out the rear? Following me in the taxi is Rex. The end. So meanwhile, right? That's me climbing that coconut tree at St. John. And what you want to see right about now, Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. Funk Soul Brother. This is St. Thomas Island. I'm on it now. And pretty much, we're out of here. I'm on it. So, enjoying the fruits of my labors. Right here's the passion fruit. Right? It's getting ripe. Oh yeah. Coconuts are getting ripe. The view, the $1 million view, spectacular. You can even see some little islands out here, right? Oh yeah. And there's a big iguana up in this tree over here. I don't know where he slipped off to. But pretty much, let me go ahead and give you a little glimpse of this. Coconuts. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. So pretty much, we're out of here. Thank you. God bless you and yours. That's it for Tyler Vision tonight.